Hello everyone, so here, this is me SneakyBot giving you a time-lapse video, the one that was promised in my Ardabil into Persia, Shansha and maybe this is Persia campaign. So the reason I'm basically doing this is that I thought that the campaign would have been able to do this is Persia as well, but it turns out that that was a bit beyond me, or at least that's what I judged. And looking at other Let's Play series on YouTube, it is quite difficult to do this, but I nevertheless thought, I'd just put this time-lapse video up here to demonstrate to people how, with insane luck, but still how, it is possible to be able to do this, these two achievements, and just briefly narrate through the time lapse, and just show what I don't think anyone doubts that it's doable, but just put it out there that it is doable, just not always when you're doing it in front of the camera. So let's just put this at a medium speed and go through this. So as always, what I do is I do a day 1 war against Biapas and conquer them. And then we basically wait around. This is actually going quite quickly for me. And notice here, I didn't remember that actually Ajam ended up taking Gilan. So I thought we had managed to do that before them, but we didn't, which was interesting. Timurids are basically dying as they are. Ajam is becoming the bigger power, but then they get into a war here with Karakayunlu. We also secure a marriage here, not royal marriage, but alliance with Georgia, because they managed to become the Caucasian eminent power. But let's see, there we go. So Karakayunlu went into war with Ajam and we jumped in, managed to get Luristan and Ardabil as vassals, and also Mazandaran at some point. When Mazandaran grows here into Ajami territory, you notice that this is because something we did. We made Ajam into our vassals. We've also, as in our Let's Play series, expanded into Shervan a bit. That was Georgia gave us some territory, which was nice. And now this is basically the fall of Ajam, as it were. Yep, here we go. We took land, our vassal Mazandaran took some land, and this is where we have more or less managed to, before the year 1500, not quite before the year 1500, but we've managed to form Persia. It will happen any moment now, once we go into one last war with Ajam and then probably Fars as well. So let that just tick by real briefly. Probably just waiting out truces here. We also had Transoxania as our ally the entire campaign, which was nice. Here we see Ajam ate the last of the Timurids, well, not the last, but a significant chunk of them, and we incorporated Mazandaran, which then made us conquer most of the Timurids and Ajam. And here we go, we are Persia at 1521. We are Persia, and soon, in about 20 years if I remember, we will betray Karakayunlu and begin our march towards the Levant and Egypt. So at this moment we're basically not even concerned with the Khorasani provinces that are in Afghanistan's hand. We're basically said, okay, we've got Persia, now we need to start moving towards Mesopotamia and the Levant in order to cut off any Ottoman expansion. And while we wait for an opportunity to do that, we just take some land from the surroundings here. But here you go. It's 1441 and we've got a corridor through Mesopotamia into the Levant. We successfully betrayed Karakayunlu. And here we go. We also went to war against the Mamluks and got Syria briefly, like 5 years after. We have at this moment also an alliance with the Ottomans, which will prove quite nice. While we wait for truces with the Mamluks to run out, we also conquer Fars and just get more land in the Persia Khorasani region and just ping pong between these two regions as we expand. while also making sure that we do everything we can to cut off the Ottoman expansion. Here we feed some of Karakunlu to a vassal Ardabil, and here it's worth to note that what I should have done is the minute I started Syria as a vassal, like at this moment probably starting to annex Ardabil, because these two are getting really uppity, especially after the next war with the Mamluks, when I really start feeding like Syria a lot, and they were almost constantly trying to rebel, and their annexation took a long time. Like probably at this point just said, screw these two provinces, let's annex Ardabil, because what I wanted to do was to give them both of these. Yeah, and this is about this time, especially when we start moving into the ex-Georgia region here, that the Ottomans starts getting really worried. You can probably hold one of the regions that they desire, either the Levant or the Caucasus, but not both. We were super lucky in that they never actually declared war on us, even though they had missions to do so. So this is about this time we've already started annexing Syria, because I noticed we can't really expand into the Mamluks now with Syria in the way we should have probably tried to nab one of these provinces like Antioch from them or something, or even Akbar. So here we go, we've successfully integrated Syria, and the way to the Mamluks is free again. And this is where we got quite lucky that the Ottomans went to war against Russia, and we are desperately looking for alliances with people. Oh dear, sorry. Showing the tooltip here from the actual save, but we managed to get an alliance with France, who has a union over Poland, and we use that union to our advantage, then defeat the Ottomans, and first to deter them so that we can manage to take these coastlines of the Mamluks for ourselves, and also to integrate Ardabil in peace, while we also take the rest of Afghanistan for ourselves. You can see here that it was pretty fun. The Ottomans were at some point all the way up here in Perm, until they were driven back by Russia. So they were quite powerful this game, and Ryazan also managed to survive for quite a bit. But at this point, at 1642, where is roughly where our campaign sort of more or less ended, we already had a good chunk of Persia, Khorasan, the Caucasus, and basically all of Egypt secured for ourselves. It's a couple of decades that is all that matters, and the fact that you don't allow the Ottomans to advance into those regions. A strong Austria also proved very vital to make sure they didn't just ram into the Balkans and into Hungary, which probably explains their strange attempts at expansion into Russia proper here. But here you can see we've finally started utilizing France and gotten some of the Ottoman land here for us. Trebizond is our new vassal, as is we took the knights through Cyprus here, so we will start feeding the knights and Trebizond here off the Ottoman lands, more or less forgetting about the Mamluks, since we have Egypt anyway in our pocket. And now, at the time when our actual campaign more or less started picking up steam, we're already invading Anatolia, already basically have gotten control of Anatolia, because the Ottomans are completely cut off from those regions, and all we need to do is start pummeling them every time the truce runs up, just saying, nope, new war, new war, new war. It also helps that the Ottomans are constantly at war with Russia here. They have vast regions here in Russia, so whenever they're at war with Russia, or Russia is at war with them, we try and time our war against the Ottomans so that they're always stuck in a two-front war, and obviously utilizing France to a great degree here with their awesome troops and their Polish PU. And right about this point is probably when I start thinking, hey, let's start annexing the knights. So at some point I will feed the knights one last time and then start annexing them, and then it's Trebizond's turn to be fed. I didn't want to, yeah, here. knights basically become the new Byzantium, and I start feeding or annexing the knights after this. And I didn't want to feed Trebizond because I didn't want to get into the situation where we had in the Ardabil and Syria, where both of them are quite strong, and they both started to get very close to rebellious, and I constantly had to placate rulers, pay off debt, all these types of things just to keep them in line, and fear that someone like the Ottoman who hated me would start supporting their independence if I for a second just didn't have enough money or prestige. But yeah, here we are. We have basically also secured Greece now, for all that's worth. Like, this bit is essentially Greece, and then we just divvy this up between France and I for nice borders. So at this point, in 1737, the campaign is more or less finished. I mean, it's not ended. We still need to conquer the land, but there's nothing stopping us from conquering it, because Russia is making a resurgence in the steppes, so that holdout of the Ottomans is vanishing, and we are taking Anatolia and the Greek holdouts here as well. We do at the end, because I just wanted to see what happens here with Spain and with a powerful Austria and a very, very weird Roman Empire that I think also got... Oh, no, here in this campaign I think it was the opposite, where this all became Protestant and the Roman Empire remained Catholic. Something like that, but yeah, here we integrate Trebizond. We only have a couple more provinces left in Anatolia. I think it's 2. And once we've got these occupied or incorporated, we will essentially have gotten the achievement. We will try and get this here as well. Austria even went in to take that from the Ottomans. As you can see from the lines on the map here, that will end up become ours in a war or two. But here it's just basically us waiting for our truce, and there it is. Ottomans are gone, and the rest of the campaign until like 1816, I do play it for a bit longer, is just getting nice borders like here, or like getting Afghanistan and all these things into Persia, because it looks nice border wise, and also just, you know, getting that nice gold mine in Kosovo and the rest of like Serbia into Persia. But here you go. Yep, that is pretty much what our great Persian Empire looks at the end of this campaign, and it just goes to show that it is indeed quite possible to do the Ardabil start, and with a decent amount of luck though, but still nonetheless be able to form Persia and then do the This is Persia achievement, where you essentially become a new hyper powerful Ottomans. It just requires that you really like, not the first time that the Mamluks go to war against Karakunlu, even though that might be the best option, but definitely the second time you're ready to attack them. You've basically annulled that alliance, and you've secured yourself a big enough power base in Persia to be able to annul that alliance, where you're no longer needing their help to prop you up. Because that was our problem in the Let's Play series, is I felt we couldn't annul that alliance and betray them soon enough, because otherwise we'd be at the mercy of all of those coalitions and big powers in Persia proper. Whereas here we just dealt with them very quickly, very decisively, which meant, okay, Karakunlu, we don't need you anymore. And we had Transoxania as well, which throughout this entire campaign, which helped, and we didn't have that in the last one. So yeah, that is it for the timeline episode here. And as you will see when we close the timeline, it is December 24th. I can't promise that this will go up on December 24th, but roughly around that time. So I do hope you've had a lovely Christmas and will have had a lovely New Year. I will be gone, but I will make sure I schedule all of these updates to go up before I leave to lands where I don't have any internet. But I will be back in January, and there will be more EU4 and other games. We will hopefully start finishing up Thief as well, and Tyranny should be finishing soon too, so we will be looking at new games to play, and Bastion, which should air on December 31st. That's what I've got in mind there. I did promise to have Bastion up in December, so I decided, okay, December 31st will have to do. We should be finishing that in soonish too, because that is quite a quick but lovely game to play. Anyway, I do hope you did enjoy this time-lapse video of me briefly narrating my own, albeit luck-filled strategy in how to do the This is Persia and Shansha achievements with Ardabil. If you did like this video, then do give me a like and a subscribe. Also, just share the word about the channel with your friends and everyone you know that might be interested in the content that I produce. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.